Hey there, this is Ginger Pelletieri. Welcome to part two of how to help your child focus on homework. We are going to get into this. Last time we spoke about some supports that can help you with your child at home, whether they're doing homeschool or they're bringing home homework from the classroom. And in part one, we talked about some visual supports that you can use at home, some visual schedules. And then we talked about sitting on a bouncy ball or a yoga ball to kind of help with focus and to give that movement the sensory input that your student might need in order to help them focus. So today's part two, and I just want to welcome you again. And the first strategy that we're going to get into, which is actually strategy number 3 in this series, is using a timer. So I have used a timer a ton in my classroom. And the first reason that I use a timer is that it really reduces a lot of anxiety that many of our learners have. Whether it's a kid in a classroom or it's a kid at home, you can still use a timer. And the reason I've started using timers is if I wanted the student to start working, let's say for a 10-minute time slot, okay? I would set the timer, I would tell them we're gonna work for 10 minutes. And then they would start to feel less anxious and I could see that their shoulders would relax, their body language would relax, and they realize there's an end coming to their, work time. We call that a non-preferred task, okay? That's teacher lingo for something that they really don't enjoy doing, okay? But that really did calm them down. There was a lot less anxiety and stress. Using a timer helps with that unpredictability factor, okay? Because then they know how long they have to work. They're not stressing over, oh my gosh, how long is she going to keep me? How long is my mom or dad going to make me sit here at this table? No, they have that visual, and it's another visual strategy to use, but they have that visual of the time. This also helps, if you look right here, it helps to tolerate doing homework or tolerate doing any type of schoolwork that you may have if you're a homeschool parent. Tolerating is better than defiance. So let's accept tolerating. They may not enjoy it. They may still gripe or complain, or their body language may show that they don't enjoy it, but it really does help them to tolerate being able to sit there. And I've seen this over and over again in my own classrooms. It really does reduce a lot of tantrums or any type of behaviors that could start to show up because they don't want to do this non-preferred task. They don't want to sit and do schoolwork. They don't want to sit and do homework. Whatever it may be, you can set a timer. And setting a timer doesn't have to only be doing during schoolwork. It could be, you could set a timer to clean your bedroom. It could be setting a timer to whatever activity or chore you want your child to do. You could set a timer. Hey, we're going to work for 5 minutes. And you know what? If your child has a lot of tantrums or inappropriate behaviors during work time, set the timer low. Hey, start off with 2 to 5 minutes, whatever it may be. And I'm going to show you some examples of timers in just a second, but I want to show you kind of what to do for setting a timer. So I put in here some examples. You could start with 10 minutes. If your kid can sit for a good 10 minutes and do work, then set that timer for 10 minutes. Let them see that they only have to work for 10 minutes. And then I suggest giving them a break depending on their ability. Okay, you may say, hey, they only need a minute to stand up, move, walk around, and then come right back and set another timer for 10 minutes. It doesn't matter what you feel they need, that's what they need, okay? So if they need a 5-minute break with a 10-minute work time, that's okay. You can always start lowering the amount of time they have on a break, and they may not even realize it, okay? But I would also set that timer for the break. So if you want to give them a 3-minute break, set the timer, say, hey, I'm setting a timer for a 3-minute break. When it goes off, we're going to get back to work. So announce that to them. You can use a phone, an egg timer that maybe someone would have in a kitchen, or even your microwave timer. Any type of visual timer that would have a sound to it, you can use that. All right. One other suggestion I have is you can even have your child participate in setting the timer. This way they can see it's up to them. They're the ones setting it for themselves. If you feel like your child would not like to do that or they're not able to do that, that's okay. But show them and explain to them very gently, we are setting a timer to work for 10 minutes. We're setting a timer and we're going to work for 8 minutes, whatever it may be for your child. Okay, here's some examples. Now, this one I actually used in my classroom because the red, I love seeing that visual of the red of how much time they have left. So if the red is like this, it says they have 45 more minutes of work. Okay, that's what this timer shows. But I love that timer. Another one is just a simple timer you can get at Walmart for literally under $5. So any of these. This is also a fun example. Okay, now this I found on the internet, and it could be something you guys can make at home. And I'm not quite sure the whole ramification of this, like how you do it, but I'm sure you can Google it, make it fun, say, hey, we're going to start using timers to do our work. And I love out here where it says, okay, the 2 minutes, maybe this is for a break. Maybe they're going to work for 5, break for 2. And you set that timer and they can see it. And it's something that they can participate in creating. So I think that's actually a pretty cool strategy. All right, the last strategy, and sorry about this typo, it should be number 4, but the last one I've used a lot in my classroom, and I was actually encouraged by this from an occupational therapist. And the occupational therapist told me to have my students lay prone on the floor. And I was like, I don't even know what that means. So I put a definition up here, and it just really means laying flat on your stomach. And you're laying flat, not in a bed. I wouldn't use a bed, but I would use a hard floor. It could be carpeted, it could be wood, it could be tile, whatever it is you have, but on a firm floor. And the student will be propped up on their elbows. And I'm going to share a picture with you in just a second. And I have seen an increase in work time. Also here, strength and stability with their fine motor development and focus. I saw the students able to focus a little bit better while they were laying prone on the floor. And I thought that is so interesting. So I just want to encourage you, and I have encouraged so many parents in the past, to use this strategy. It doesn't have to be for a very long period of time. Maybe it's for that 5 to 10 minutes of work time. Then they get up, stretch, get into a different position, move their body, move their muscles. But I have found that it completely helps with focus while they're doing their schoolwork. And another thing, when I did some research on it, it helps to put their arm and their wrist in the correct position for writing. So I thought that was a pretty cool strategy. So here's an example of lying prone doing homework. Okay, see how they're on their elbows, their legs are straight out, they're on their stomach, and their hand and their wrist are in the correct position to start writing. So these are just some strategies that I wanted to share with you today. And I just wanted you to remember that spedadvisors.com, we are here to build the most comprehensive free review-based special needs directory for your families. So if you have any more questions for me, please make a comment. Please reach out, spedadvisors.com. Thanks so much.